Well, National Security Advisor Bolton is overseas to hammer out a deal with Turkey after the White House put some new conditions on a U.S.-Syria withdrawal. So what are the new terms and what are the next steps if Turkey refuses to meet them? Here now to weigh in is Iraq war veteran and Republican strategist Chris Neiweem. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it this morning.
Good morning, Heather.
So right now we have National Security Bolton set to meet in Turkey. What do you think will come of those meetings? And in terms of the policy itself, do you really see any differences between what the president originally announced?
No, the president's following through on his commitment. I mean, we have largely decimated ISIS in the region, and their leadership has been removed and fled. And at this point, it's time to turn over the operation to capable partners, and that's what we're doing. So I think we're going to be putting terms together with Turkey to not interfere with the YPG and forces in there that are doing good things. And I think that that's really going to be the trick, is making sure we give Turkey a browbeating. And I think that's what Secretary Pompeo and Mr. Bolton are going to be outlining.
And Secretary Pompeo is set to land in Jordan in just minutes from now to let our allies know over there that we are not deserting the area. Originally, when the president announced this plan to bring our troops home from Syria, a lot of people immediately up in arms saying, you know, we can't do this immediately. But now we just kind of have a plan in place. Do you think that President Erdogan from Turkey will keep his end of the bargain, which apparently part of that is to not attack the Kurds, who have been an ally in our fight against ISIS?
I think he will. I think that's something that they will honor. Obviously, they look at the YPG and some of the forces that have spearheaded U.S. allied efforts as terrorist organizations. That's nothing new. We know that where those lines are drawn. So I think keeping them in a comfortable position. You know, we talk about our allies doing more to help us out. Now's their opportunity in the region. But I think that those are going to be articulated, and I think that they would experience problems if they want to move in that direction. So I would think that they will honor the agreement.
Do you see any problems between what Pompeo is saying and what Bolton is saying?
No, I like what they're doing. It's almost kind of like good cop, bad cop. I mean, Secretary Pompeo has laid out sort of the more dystopic way that they could behave, and I think they've already pushed back to say we're not going to do that. And Ambassador and Mr. Bolton is going to be in a position to have more of a policy wonk approach, make sure that our withdrawals are measured with our allies, so things on the ground can stay as stable as possible.
Do you trust Turkey? Do you trust Erdogan specifically?
Not really. I mean, when I went into Iraq, I was wearing a green uniform because Turkey pulled our base rights at the last minute. We went in a different way. But I do think that that's just going to be part of the shell game, and I think that we've got those negotiators in place. There's always going to be a risk when you withdraw, but the president following through on a commitment. These aren't just campaign promises. They're commitments, and he's following through to reduce our physical footprint in Syria. Yeah,
but at the same time, make sure that we defeat ISIS and we don't leave a vacuum where they can actually grow.
That's true, and we largely have. But again, you know, Heather, the whole endless war thing, we've done the endless war thing. We don't want that anymore, so we're trying to move in another direction. And so far, so good. I think Turkey will honor the agreement, and it'll be, it'll be a key moment for the president and our foreign policy. All
right. Well, we have our foreign policy out there, our leaders out there talking about it to all of our allies right now. So we'll see what comes of it. Chris Neiweem, thank you very much for joining us.
Good to be with you, Heather.
Have a good day.